Hey all, welcome to Share Trek. This is Raj here. Friends, we have seen a weak market and our genomic stocks are languishing. I was searching for some answers and got something that is not exactly an answer to all the problems with genomics valuation, but it does show one of the dimensions of the issues genomic stocks are facing. I also reviewed analyst expectations for our genomic stocks, and they are all bullish long term, as you will see as we go ahead in this video. So overall, I was looking for some inspiration, some positive hopes, and I think I found them with the analysts' opinions. But first, I would like to thank you to thank each and every one of you for bearing with my video and audio quality. Today, I discovered something called as white balance, and now I'm able to show my true colors. What a miracle! Wonder what more I will learn in the next few months as I continue making this show. Incidentally, I also bought a new Sony mirrorless camera and will be installing it shortly. It's a high quality camera and should help improve the video quality quite a lot. So looking forward to better videos going ahead. And now to talk more about the topic at hand relating to genomic share prices, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. During my search for reasons for weak genomics valuation, apart from the overall bad economic environment, I stumbled upon a category called insider selling. Let me take the case of PACB. Insider Christian Henry made the following sales. On September 15, he sold 91,307 shares of PACB at $5.78. On December 1st, he sold 45,000 shares of PACB at $10.84. A total of 1.4% of total stock is held by insiders when it comes to PACB, and in the last 90 days, stock worth more than $1 million have been sold by insiders. Likewise, in the last 90 days, 50,000 shares of CRISPR were sold by insiders, all of them by Samarth Kulkarni through two transactions, one on 28th of November and another on 26th of November. Likewise, in the case of Beam Therapeutics, we had 50,000 shares sold by insiders. Both sales were from John Evans. First one was on 31st of October for 30,000 shares at 44.92, and the next one was also on 31st of October for selling 20,000 shares at 44.93. So effectively, he got somewhere around 44.92 or something for each of his shares. When it comes to Verve, almost 1 million shares were sold by insiders. Take a look at the spreadsheet that I have for you. And I had to create a separate spreadsheet because of the volume of transactions. So it's almost 1 million shares out there out there which have been sold for Verve. Next, if we were to look at Bluebird, they had only 1,500 shares sold during the last 90-day period, and no wonder Bluebird shares are still strong. There's a lot of optimism within Bluebird as well as in the market. Now, if you are to look at the actual sales that were taking place, it's only the sale by Andrew Obenchain, and that too he had only sold around 1,500 shares in all total. Now, if we are to move on to have a look at the overall insider trading in any company, it's not always a bad thing. And there are transparency rules in place, and along with blackout windows surrounding announcement of earnings or market moving data, whether it's going to be good data like the success of a clinical trial or a bad data like the failure of a clinical trial or a FDA hold. There are blackout windows that are placed out there to prevent insiders from selling and taking advantage of the market, or buying and taking advantage of the market. But overall, I would say that when you look at the fact that shares are being sold by insiders, there is generally a stigma attached to it when it comes to the market participants. There are innocent reasons for selling shares, and then there are some sales that make the market apprehensive and hence price drops. We have to remember that many of these senior executives in these companies have stock-based compensation, so they may need to sell the stock from time to time in order to meet their personal expenses and also to meet tax liabilities. So overall, what I'm trying to say is, the point I'm trying to make is that the insider selling is not a sinister thing, but it still adds to the sales volume. And when we look at the price of stock being determined by demand and supply, with every insider sale in this market, the supply side seems to get a bit stronger, and as a result, the share prices nosedive. In terms of analyst coverage, that's where I looked for to get a glimmer of hope. According to the analyst, I've referred to marketbeat.com where I have a subscription. There are multiple analysts who give their opinion on each of the stock. So for Illumina, the analyst opinion is that the stock will outperform. There is a coverage initiated by Royal Bank of Canada. And for PACB, we have a buy rating with 102% upside. For CRISPR, we have a hold rating with 99% upside. For Verve, we have a buy rating with 133% upside. For Intelia, we have a buy rating with 170% upside. For Beam, we have a buy rating with 76% upside. And for DNA, we have a hold rating with 240% upside. So all these are from marketbeat.com, as I mentioned earlier, where multiple analysts have weighed in on each of these stocks. The overall long-term outlook seems rosy and plenty of money to be made, but in the short term, we have to find our way through a lot of turbulence, and the market is going to test our character. The market seems to be lackluster and choppy, and it can prompt us to do some knee-jerk trading activity like selling prematurely or buying before it is too buying too early. So we have to persevere and come out of this on the other side for gains. This means that we need to have some strategy and a lot of willpower. But before I go, I would like to have a quick look at the indices. Let's check out the TradingView platform. We'll just look at the indices overall at a high level and see whether we are still on the bull track or we are back into a bear channel. Here we are in our TradingView platform, and I'm looking at US oil. Each of these candles is a one-day candle, and as you can see, US oil is on a bear channel, and it's consolidated a bit yesterday, took a pause, but I think it's on its way down. We also have weak MACD and a weak momentum out here. That's good for the market overall. When we look at QQQ, we are still on a bull channel, in my opinion. We have not come back into the massive bear channel in which we were traveling before. But friends, just like before, when we reached all the way up to 333.73 and then we fell down, it's quite possible that we have reached our peak at 293.33 in this leg, and we may fall back down into the bear channel, or we could potentially bounce up from the horizontal support at 278.43. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. But other indices may also give us some clue. If we look at S&P 500, it has definitely fallen out of the bull channel. Of course, the S&P 500 bull channel was very steep and unsustainable, but it's in line with what we have seen in the past. So if the past is any precursor of the future, we are likely to continue fall down, and maybe we'll get some support at 381.55. IWM Russell Index is also fallen below the diagonal line of support of the bull channel. Dow Jones Industrial Index has also fallen out of the diagonal bull channel, and the bull channel was very steep, but it has been similar to what we had in the past. So we have fallen down out here. We may likely come back and test the support here, which is going to be somewhere around 328.75. Next, we look at VIX. VIX had been steadily falling on a bear channel, but it has taken a spike out here, and we have a resistance which is at 22.73. Hopefully, that resistance will push us back down. That will be conducive for the market. And if we were to look at the US dollar index is also on a bear channel, and it has been falling steadily, and that's a good sign. But in the last couple of days, it has gone up. So hopefully, it gets pushed down by the 10-day simple moving average, which has always pushed us down. It has been the upper limit for this bear channel. I hope it acts up again and we start coming down, because a falling US dollar index is the best thing that can happen for the stock market. So overall, friends, I think that it's a bit inconclusive. There is a lot of optimism in the NASDAQ side, but when it comes to S&P 500 and Russell Index and Dow Jones, it's not looking that good. Overall, the US dollar index and the VIX are looking pretty decent at this point of time. So I can't decide what's going to happen going forward. Overall, I find it very difficult to predict what's going to happen tomorrow. But I think after such steep falls, there is always a dead cat bounce. So we should expect a little bit of greens tomorrow. I'd be surprised if that doesn't happen, but that green may not be a persistent long-term kind of a thing. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the market. I, for one, am going to look at buying DNA at around 1.74 or 1.73, that range, if I get a chance tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm willing to wait, because there's plenty of time before the market can come back up again. There should be some consolidation somewhere. Let us wait and see. Out here in Canada, we are waiting for the central bank to disclose what it's going to do with the interest rates. And back in the US, there are some experts who are feeling that the interest rate has been overdone and that the recession is coming crashing through. We'll have to wait and watch what's happening, because honestly, I don't know what's happening right now. I'm going to wait and watch, and we'll keep track of our genomic stocks out here. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.